It's all led up to this: the smoke, the sweat, the sore knees. It's time for them to visit the Carroll County Emergency Services Training Center for a controlled burn exercise. In other words, time to fight a fire. As the trucks arrive, anticipation is high. But, as expected, there's plenty of preparation work to be done before anyone grabs a fire hose and stands toe-to-toe with the orange blaze. The crew first unloads a few supply line hoses and talks about the first burn exercise.
If you have an emergency, and I know it's been said before, you need to tell somebody, notify somebody, activate your pass device, alarm, button on the front. You want to do that with your eyes closed. So this is 4-inch, and then you got your 2.5 inches.
In most cases, fire trucks require a high-pressure water supply in the form of a fire hydrant in the vicinity of the fire.
Turn this just a little bit, and hold it and turn at the same time. That way you can use this as well.
Through a system of valves, pumps, and hoses, the water is delivered to teams of firefighters battling the blaze.
When you shut it down, make sure it's slow, just like you were saying, otherwise it can bust the water main, it can bust the pump. And if they tell you to change patterns, what they're referring to is you can twist this. It'll either make a fog pattern, which is really wide, or it'll make a straight stream, which is real concentrated.
For safety reasons, a brief tour of the concrete structure helps to orient everyone with emergency exits. Black soot from hundreds of controlled training burns coats the interior walls and floor like muddy, wet paint. Once the masks and breathing apparatus are engaged, they make their way toward the cold concrete structure, a structure that will soon be hot from the fire within.
When we went up to the building to burn, I was utterly anxious. I could have probably cried because I was just like, I'm not sure I want to do this, but I don't want to ruin this experience. And so, you know, I just prayed about it, and then my thoughts went to something else, and then you were distracted.
As they crawl into position, excitement and anticipation causes them to breathe too fast. This will deplete the air supply rapidly, creating a potentially dangerous situation.
Okay, listen to how everybody's breathing. It's going to be fast. I want everybody to do at least one skip breath. Take a breath and hold it for as long as you can.
As the fire is ignited, everyone notices how quickly the room fills with smoke and heat.
The speed with which a room fills up with fire and smoke is a little bit scary.
And my natural instinct was, you know, what the hell, you get the hell out of here, this room's in fire.
The smoke conditions now are getting worse. Now we're maybe 4 feet off the ground. Okay?
You can't see anything except little bits of trickle of orange telling you there's a fire in front of you.
The loud crackle of burning wood and the roar of the fiery beast begins to drown out the instructions. Finally, the flames are subdued by a short but accurate burst of water.
We can see how quick it opened up in here. We can see everybody now, right? You can see it all the way through in that window. Any questions?
I felt good, I liked that part. Sitting in there, my natural instinct to flee was really kicking in.
I did notice at the end though, my light started beep yellow and I didn't freak. Like I was thinking if anything goes yellow, I'm gonna freak.
Obviously, like when you're sitting in a room burning, you do think, okay, I must have absolute faith in the people who've set this up or I would be running.
I got them all. Wish I would have stayed in. People will collapse like when I'm ready to go back.
Now it is time for each of our participants to step forward, grab the high-pressure line, and battle the blaze. Spray pattern techniques and accuracy are emphasized during the training. Techniques that maximize the firefighter's abilities yet minimize property damage from overspraying of water.
They taught us techniques. They said that, like, you know, like it goes across, like you do a Z or a T or an O.
You know, you see these movies on television and they're running into a fire, and you know, we spent most of the day crawling, which I have to say probably took the worst wear and tear on me over the course of the couple of days. My knees haven't felt like this in years.
I really thought they walked. I don't know if anyone else realized they crawled through fires when you can't see, but I'm still in shock about that.
I think they did a fantastic job of giving us a very realistic experience. But by the same token, I never for a moment felt like, you know, there was any real potential jeopardy.
I truly didn't feel, you know, afraid. I trusted them completely. I mean, I put myself in their hands, and, you know, I didn't think that they were taking it lightly. So I felt very comfortable with everything we did throughout the experience.
As they walked away from the steaming structure, a new sense of appreciation was apparent on their faces. They had faced a fire in the same boots of their firefighter neighbors.
Oh man, that was outstanding. I would have never thought you couldn't see as little in there or that it felt that warm. That was cool.
The strain on the body, the mud, the smoke, and the steam. After all they had been through, what was it truly like to be a firefighter?
I totally respect what the firemen do, because it's pretty amazing.
I mean, it was dramatic, the difference between what you could see at standing height and what you felt.
Really just can't see anything. Like, no one ever said that if you want to be a firefighter, you have to be like very tactile. You can't look, you have to feel for everything that you have to find.
Yeah, it's more or less impossible to stay clean when you're, I mean, knee deep in mud.
You know, I felt like, oh my gosh, this is something that you can do and you will impact and benefit your community, and come back feeling like, you know what, I did something. I'm needed, I'm necessary.
Just getting the little things that they have to get done to keep this, you know, firehouse running. They're always working while we're, you know, just about to light our house on fire, you know?
This program gives them an opportunity to actually have hands-on experience looking at a fire, using the nozzle, climbing a ladder, going over the equipment, everything, but it's done in a safe environment, and that's the #1 thing they go over is your safety. But I do believe that more people should get involved in this program to build up the volunteer ranks within the departments.
Yeah, I think it was exactly the kind of education that I would want to get, and then if you can add to that we had some fun and met some interesting people, I don't think you could ask for more than that in a 2-day program.
It's just, I totally recommend it for anybody at any age, but I wish I'd done this when I was younger.
Just as a mother, like from a mother's perspective, I want to go home and make sure that we have an exit plan, and that we really know, like, if you hear the, you know, smoke alarm, you need to move then, whether you think it's nothing, you know, and don't stand up when you get out of bed, and things that I know my husband doesn't even know, but that with 3 children that aren't going to get out on their own, to really want to make that a focus.
Everybody should come down to their local, you know, firehouse and spend some time, you know, volunteer or, you know, come to some of their events and get a chance to know the people that are going to, you know, resuscitate you when you've passed out or put out your bacon fire. I mean, whatever. I'm tired. I've been fighting fires all weekend.
I think the camaraderie is fantastic. I think to be in this kind of environment, you have to have that. And that seems to really exist here. I mean, people seem to have a genuinely good time being here.
It takes a certain kind of person, and like you can totally tell their personalities and what they do, and you can totally tell they're passionate about what they do.
It's an amazing connection these people have in supporting each other and wanting to help people. So I think it's a great gift they give to the community.
They're willing to give their lives for someone else's, and that's, you know, just amazing to me.
pretty wild. Whew.